2020.
Watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2. I'm meteorologist Eric Gage.
And some folks have already seen a little bit of snow, right?
Oh, yeah. Maybe taking a little bit, maybe lightly. Yeah, Old Forge seeing a good amount of snow right now from lake effect. Some reports from our Skywatcher 8 inches. Some other reports over 13 inches of snow. So, yeah, good amount of snow in the North Country. Yeah, not that much is expected in the Mohawk Valley. But still, we could be seeing some tricky travel situations this evening as that snow band continues to push its way south. So let's take a look at the current conditions on the radar right now. So Mohawk Valley is quiet and dry. A isolated snow band from Lake Erie in the southern valleys has continued to push south of Oneonta. But our main focus, of course, is up here off of Lake Ontario. The current trend right now is it will slowly shift south heading into the late morning to early afternoon. So as you can see right here, the heaviest snow in that dark blue will slowly start to merge into northern Oneida County. So if you are in these areas of Boonville, north of western, but still that Route 12 area, Route 28, and into north central Herkimer County for sport, get ready for some, at least a good amount of snow to fall within the next several hours as, again, that wind direction slowly continues to shift to the south. And so, again, strong lake effect snow north this morning. That snow band drops south during the day, and heaviest accumulations are not expected in the Mohawk Valley. But still, be aware of rapidly deteriorating road conditions as you head out the door, not for early this morning in the Mohawk Valley, but for the mid-afternoon. And again, poor visibility is possible before that snowband finally shifts south as we head into tonight. I'll, of course, go into more detail on our latest snowfall forecast, plus the current situation coming up. Back over to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. The snow.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning and welcome back. Let's take a look at your morning and evening commute cast. For both morning and evening, it's going to depend as lake effect snow is isolated and not widespread. Now for the morning, if you live north of the Mohawk Valley, especially up in northern Oneida County, in north central Herkimer County, northern Herkimer County, you could be seeing some tricky travel up to the north. However, by this evening, your travel should be okay as the snow has passed south. A different story for the Mohawk Valley and south as that snow continues to push its way into the Mohawk Valley and eventually southern valleys. You could be seeing some tricky travel situations with reduced visibility. Now in the Mohawk Valley, not a lot of accumulations expected. However, again, road conditions could deteriorate pretty quickly with reduced visibility. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. You can see right here that heavy snow band is still moving across the North Country, currently impacting Tug Hill right now. Storm reports up here of 12 and 13 inches of snow. Our Skywatcher Bill in Old Forge also with 8 inches of snow reported. Now, as it heads south, not that much snow is expected as you head into north central Oneida County, but still, could be expecting some deteriorating road conditions. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Dozens of families are celebrating after loved ones.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We're dealing with lake effect snow for today. North Country already seeing plenty of it, especially up in Old Forge. And as we head into the afternoon, that lake effect snow band will sweep to the south. Here's a live view across central New York on the New York State Mesonet Camera Network. I want to mention one thing right here. 16-minute drive between Osceola and Camden right here. Osceola, 9 inches of snow. Heading to Camden, no snow. So lake effect is definitely an interesting thing to forecast because you go 16 minutes away north or south and you're dealing with almost 9 to 10 inches of a difference in accumulation. So although it is tricky to forecast, we know lake effect is going to happen. It just for the most part, forecasting exact totals is a bit on the tricky side. You can see here on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar that heavy lake effect snow band is currently taking place up near Tug Hill, Lewis County. Parts of Old Forge seeing between 8 to 13 inches of accumulation at this point. This band will slowly start to continue to sweep south as we head into the mid-morning, and then by the early afternoon, it will continue into the Mohawk Valley, producing maybe some light accumulations, but still could produce poor visibility and poor driving conditions before it finally sweeps into Madison County and to the Mohawk Valley, south of the Mohawk Valley. And so our updated snowfall forecast, it is looking to still remain the same, at least for most of central Herkimer County, northern Oneida County. 6 to 12 inches possible just outside of the Camden area as that band continues to sweep south, and possible 6 to 12 inches of snow along this red area in Madison County. Now, I'm thinking more on the low end of that, at least for the red area, but still expect a good amount of snow in northern Oneida County for the rest of the day. Radar and satellite showing a good amount of lake effect taking place off of all of the Great Lakes this morning as really cold air is moving over warmer lake temperatures. And so as you can see on our Skycast, ignore the text here, I haven't updated that just yet. We are talking about snow showers currently taking place in the North Country this morning. This will sweep south as we head into the early afternoon, still around noontime, maybe starting to reach parts of Utica and the I-90 corridor, and that will sweep south fairly quickly into the southern valleys by 7 p.m. So this will not last too long in the Mohawk Valley, but enough to where reduced visibility is possible. Then, as we head into tomorrow, that snow band will continue to sweep its way up north of the Mohawk Valley around 7 a.m. in northern Oneida County, maybe producing an additional inch or two of snow before the event finally comes to an end and those snow showers continue north, and maybe a brief push of some light flurries Wednesday evening. Other than that, though, the lake effect event will be over. And so for today, highs in the upper 20s with lake effect snow showers, windy as well, 15 to 20 mile per hour winds. For tonight, lake effect snow continues its way south of the Mohawk Valley, low of 19. Your 7-day forecast heading into the rest of the work week. Thursday, it's looking mostly dry, a bit more mild, bit of a change in the weather, 43 for the high. Rain showers return again on Friday, high of 40, dry for Saturday. And we're talking about more rain and maybe wintry mix arriving heading into Monday of next week.
And those folks up north are more used to it than us to get that 8 to 12 inches like they've just gotten.
Oh, yeah. I talk to people that live up there like, it's nothing.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
we're
used to it.
They're tough.
Yep.
The time right now is 5:23. Still ahead on Sunrise. Tom.
News Channel 2 at Sunrise with Gary Liberator.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we were just mentioning how the folks up north are tougher than we are down here in the valley, and they're dealing with that toughness today, right?
Yeah, that's right. Got a good amount of snow up in the North Country. We had reports of 8 inches, 12 inches, 13 inches of snow in Old Forge. And snow is still coming down a little bit, but it will continue to sweep south. So parts of northern Oneida County will start to see that snow, and then eventually into the Mohawk Valley before it sweeps south. Another area, too, that saw probably a good amount of snow. I wouldn't say good amount, but enough to where you're like, there's some snow on the ground. Take a look at this right here, a live view of Cooperstown from our Cooperstown camera. Notice some of the roads are a little slick out there. Now, we were expecting lake effect snow in the southern valleys, trace of 2 inches. However, as with lake effect, Mother Nature always likes to throw some curveballs, and the lake effect band became stronger and more isolated in one area. So some of you in central Herkimer, central Otsego County, I got to see a little bit more than the trace 2 inches of snow we had in our forecast. Now that snow band we were mentioning right there, you can see is very thin, has swept to the south, and behind that we're looking at quiet weather here in the southern valleys, as well as the Mohawk Valley. Different story for the North Country. Taking a look right here. The heavy snow band is currently pushing through Tug Hill, Lewis County, seeing the main amounts of snow. However, as we head to the next several hours, that will continue to sweep south. And so we're tracking again that strong snow this morning. That snow band drops south during the day. Heaviest accumulations are not expected here in the Mohawk Valley. And for today, though, that snow band sweeps south. Lake effect snow could impact travel situations for the mid-afternoon here in the I-90 corridor, and then eventually in the southern valleys later on tonight. Of course, I will time it all out, plus what to look at in terms of our snowfall forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Hamas released 17.
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Good morning. A little snowy right there as a live view of Cooperstown was just shown in a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. That snow that produced, or that band that produced snow in the southern valleys and in Cooperstown has since swept south. We're not only dealing with a lake effect snow band currently off of Lake Ontario in the North Country. You can see right here Old Forge, north central Herkimer County, as well as the Tug Hill area, Lewis County, and now heading into the next several hours, northern Oneida County. You'll start seeing more of that lake effect snow as the snow band progresses slowly south throughout the morning. You can see right there parts of Boonville and Forestport will see some of that snow develop again within the next few hours. Current temperatures across central New York are in the 20s, 28 Westmoreland, 21 Inlet, 30 degrees. Warmest over in Little Falls, 23 Richfield Springs and in Cooperstown. And for today, we're expecting the lake effect snow showers could cause some tricky travel depending on location and timing. I'll explain more detail on the timing and impacts coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Cyber Monday was a busy day for
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We are tracking that lake effect snow currently taking place in the North Country as it progresses south over the next several hours into northern Oneida County and eventually the Mohawk Valley by early this afternoon. Here's a live look across central New York on the New York State Mesnet Camera Network talking about snowfall totals once more. Redfield up here, 13 inches of snow. Osceola, 9 inches of snow. Old Forge, 13 inches of snow. And then heading down to Camden, 0 inches of snow. So you can see just the sharp contrast of snowfall totals currently as of this morning. And you can see in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, all that activity is currently taking place up here in the North Country. You can see that heavier snow band currently producing plenty of snow in the Tug Hill area in Lewis County and portions of Oswego County, and this will continue to progress into northern Oneida County right here. And so for those of you who live in the Boonville Forestport area, start to see additional amount of snow accumulation as we head into the next several hours. For the rest of central New York, things will remain quiet for now until about the late morning, early afternoon as that snow band quickly sweeps into the Mohawk Valley and eventually into the southern valleys by later on this evening. And so looking at our snowfall forecast, updated as of this morning, the red area, 6 to 12 inches of snow expected. I might bump this out to the east a little bit more. Regardless, still expect the most amount of snowfall in the area in this blue region right here for the remainder of this morning and part of this afternoon. The rest of the eastern part of the Mohawk Valley will be less likely to see that heavy snow, trace of 3 inches possible. And again, that 6 to 12 inches of snowfall possible in Madison County. This could also sweep a little bit south depending on wind direction, but overall this is our general idea of snowfall accumulation for today. Bigger picture, lake effect snow taking place across all of the Great Lakes region, and you can see in our skycast for today that snow band currently in the North Country will slowly start to sweep south by around noontime, still in central Oneida County, sweeping south of I-90 very quickly, could cause possible whiteout conditions with poor visibility and rapidly changing, of course, weather conditions on the roadway, so be careful of that. Then by 7 p.m., this will be largely in the southern valleys, Madison County, Otsego County, Shenango County, and parts of Syracuse as well. Could still see that additional snowfall before that shifts back up to the north. And by Wednesday afternoon, things are looking dry before next weather maker produces some late flurries by Wednesday night. So for today, highs in the upper 20s, low 30s. Lake effect snow, windy conditions tonight. Down into the upper teens with lake effect snow to the south. Your 7-day forecast. Heading into Wednesday evening, some few flurries are left, at least for parts of central New York. By Thursday, things dry out, a little more mild in the low to mid 40s. Then rain showers return again on Friday. And then by Saturday, things dry out once more. So by Wednesday morning, lake effect should be all but over with.
24 hours from now.
Yep.
Eric, thanks. While the White House reveals this year's...
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberator.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And the folks up north are getting pounded this morning with some snow, right?
Yeah, that's right. We got a good amount of snow in the North Country. Reports coming in of 8 inches, 12 inches, 13 inches of snow in Old Forge. And as we head into the morning hours, that snow band will continue to shift south. So eventually parts of northern Oneida County, north central Herkimer County will start to see that snow. Not as heavy as the North Country, but still enough to produce a good amount of accumulation on the ground. It will continue to sweep south by the mid-afternoon into the Mohawk Valley, could cause tricky travel. And after that, things do dry up for the Mohawk Valley. Different story for the southern valleys. Live look, the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at top of the radar. Right now, those snow showers are currently taking place in the North Country. As you can see right here, the snow band is currently taking place right over parts of Lewis County, northern Oneida County, parts of Old Forge, Route 28. If you are in the Boonville Forestport area, Route 12, Route 28, even parts of Leiden, West Leiden, this is when you're going to start seeing that pretty significant snowfall as we head into the next several hours. And so what we're tracking for today, that again, that strong lake effect snow is taking place north right now. That snow band drops south throughout the day. Heaviest accumulations are not in the Mohawk Valley, but that does not mean that travel will not be impacted. As the snow band pushes south, you could cause sudden changes to your weather conditions, as well as possible whiteout conditions, and as well as with that, possible tricky travel. I'm timing it all out, plus how much snow we could be expecting as we head into the rest of the afternoon and evening. That full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. The snow is...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good Tuesday morning. Taking a look at your morning and evening commute on our Commute Cast. It's going to be pretty much dependent on your location. Starting out for this morning, tricky travel possible in the North Country, as that heavy lake effect snow band will continue over the next several hours. By the evening, North Country should be pretty much clear of any snow showers, but still those outlying untreated roads may be a little tricky to drive on. As for the evening, at least for the morning, for the southern valleys, it is starting out quiet right now. However, by the evening, travel could be a little tricky with reduced visibility. And as that snow continues south into the southern valleys, additional accumulation of snow is expected. And as you can see on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at top of the radar, some snow showers taking place right now in the North Country. That snow band will gradually sweep south over the next several hours, impacting northern Oneida County, north central Herkimer County, before it eventually finally sweeps into the Mohawk Valley by the at least by the earliest, the late morning to early afternoon, and then eventually into the southern valleys later on this evening, hanging around a little bit in the Madison, Otsego County area. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Dozens of families are celebrating.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Happy Tuesday. This morning we are dealing with lake effect snow showers in the North Country that will slowly start to sweep its way south into the Mohawk Valley later on this morning and the early part of this afternoon. Here's a live view of downtown Utica. Quiet conditions. You can see right here with some blue skies. It's going to be a nice sunrise here this morning in the valley. However, taking a look across the state on the New York State Mesnet camera network, noticing some snow showers taking place in the North Country. Osceola up to 10 inches of snowfall right now. Camden's still at 0, at least at the weather station at the Mesonet network. But as you can see here, Woodgate is starting to see some snow showers. We'll see more of this start to develop in the northern Oneida County area and then eventually into the Mohawk Valley as we head into the late morning to early afternoon. And some of the reports coming in fact, this location right here, just west of Turin, checking in with 20 inches of snow. And we were thinking about that as we looked at the forecast yesterday. The highest areas in the Tug Hill region, would not be surprised if we saw over 18 inches of snow, and so far it's looking like that right now. Now the rest of central New York will not see 20 inches of snow, but as we head into the next several hours, the snow band will start to fall south, and additional snow accumulation expected in the northern portions of Oneida County. You can see right here our updated snowfall forecast. Finally did it. I extended that red area a little bit farther to the east. 6 to 12 inches of snow possible in the northern Oneida County area. 3 to 6 as you head farther to the east. Trace to 3 still expecting the lower elevations in the Mohawk Valley, Little Falls, Utica area. And 6 to 12 inches possible in this region right here, but this could shift north or south. We still think this is the amount of snow we're expecting, but again, wind direction plays a key role in exactly where this zone sets up. So we'll keep an eye on this one. We could shift this again a little bit farther to the south by this evening. Radar and satellite showing lake effect snow across all of the northeast. You can see right here in our skycast those snow showers developing in the northern portions of Oneida County by around noontime, sweeping south by the late morning, early afternoon. By 7 p.m., that snow band is pretty much isolated in the southern valleys. Could see some difficult travel situations out in Syracuse as that band sets up over the city. But here in the Mohawk Valley, things do dry out. And then as we head into early Wednesday morning, that snow band lifts north one final time, and then that band finally weakens and goes away. So for today, highs in the upper 20s, low 30s, breezy conditions with lake effect snow showers. For tonight, lake effect snow to the south, low of 19 and 20. Your 7-day forecast. Dry by Thursday with some sunshine, temperatures reaching the low to mid 40s. A little more mild. 4 rain showers return once more heading into Friday, and after that things dry out again on Saturday. So regarding this lake effect event, things are over and done with by Wednesday morning.
So let's get through today.
Yeah, through today, this will be the worst, at least weather-wise, for the Mohawk Valley.
And it's our first big dose of it. Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberator.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberator.
Yeah, I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we have had an easy November so far.
Yeah, we are well below average in regards to snowfall totals, at least for this time of year. And although the Utica area won't see that heavy snow the North Country is seeing, still enough to cause some possible slick roadways and poor visibility. As a matter of fact, the North Country currently seeing snowfall accumulation upwards of 20 inches of snow.
And you were mentioning the winner is?
The winner is?
The highest snowfall?
Oh yeah, 20 inches of snow in...
Constableville, right?
Yeah, I can't pronounce it for some reason.
Constableville.
Constableville. Yeah, and Old Forge also picking up between, at least our Skywatcher came in with 10 inches of snow and upwards of 14 inches from the Mesonet. Look at the conditions right now in downtown Utica. Quiet weather with some sunshine starting to peek out. Different story for portions of Otsego County. They got to see a brief snow band produce upwards of 3.5 inches of snow in the Cooperstown, Hartwick, Edmiston area. Our Skywatcher in Edmiston reporting 3 inches of snow. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The southern valleys, you are clear from snow for a while. That band is swept south. However, our main attention is going to be in the North Country. Take a look at that snow band right there. Tug Hill seeing the most of it. Heading into the next several hours, start to see some more snow if you were in Camden, Boonville, Forestport, Woodgate, and also the Route 28 corridor in Herkimer County. And for today, again, high temperatures peaking into the upper 20s, low 30s. That lake effect snow starting in the north, sweeping south throughout the day could cause tricky travel situations by the mid-afternoon in the Mohawk Valley. And as we look ahead towards this evening, additional snow showers in the southern valleys. I'll break it all down, that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
20 inches up in Constableville. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That is. Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Israel and
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Taking a look at conditions here in central New York this morning, dealing with lake effect snow showers in the North Country right now. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar. Old Forge seeing some snow showers, even parts of northern Oneida County. Most of the heavy snow is currently falling in Lewis County in the Tug Hill Plateau, as well as north central Herkimer County, Route 28. In between that region as well. The rest of central New York is looking quiet and dry. As a matter of fact, right now, sunshine is starting to peek out. Taking a look at the Nexus camera in downtown Utica. Now, a live look at temperatures this morning in the 20s, 30 degrees, the warmest in Little Falls, 21 Inlet, 27 in Westmoreland, 22 degrees in Cooperstown and in Richfield Springs. And for today, although quiet in the valley this morning, rapidly changing weather conditions are expected by the afternoon as that lake effect snow band continues to sweep south. Again, I'll time it all out in that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. It was the busiest online.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Lake effect snow, and plenty of it, is taking place in the North Country, but it doesn't really seem like that if you're in the Mohawk Valley right now, as quiet conditions are across the lower elevations. Here's a look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. You can see, of course, a nice shot of the sunrise this morning. No travel impacts are expected as you head to work this morning. Different story, however, possibly by the midday to the early evening. And taking a look at the New York State Mesnet camera network, still those lake effect snow showers are pretty strong up in the North Country, Tug Hill Plateau, Osceola, Redfield, even parts of Woodgate. Camden barely seeing any snow right now, but that will change as the day progresses. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Our attention is going to be right up here in the North Country right now, as that snow band is still producing a good amount of snow in the Tug Hill area. Would not be surprised if some regions see upwards of 30 inches or more of snow by the time that system pushes south. No 20 to 30 inch snowfall is expected here in central New York, especially in the lower elevations, as snowfall totals will continue to decrease as we head into the afternoon. Sky watchers across central New York, 26 degrees in a lot of areas. Clinton, New Hartford, Westdale, and the Herkimer County region, over 10 inches of snow picked up by Bill and Old Forge. Southern Valleys, 3 inches of snow picked up in Cooperstown, Edmiston, 3.5. In Hartwick, temperatures in the mid-20s for other regions of the Southern Valleys. And looking at our snowfall forecast, updated this morning, I added that red zone, 6 to 12 inches of snowfall possible in those higher elevations in the western portions of Oneida County. And additional 3 to 6 inches are expected in the rest of areas north of the Mohawk Valley. Trace to 3 expected Utica, Little Falls region, I-90 corridor right here, and 6 to 12 possible in this red zone. However, this could slightly shift south depending on wind direction. We still think the totals here are expected, but again, that zone could move north or south, more likely south. Bigger picture, lake effect snow showers all across the Northeast. You can see locally on our Skycast this morning, that snow still remaining north of the Mohawk Valley until around noontime. That's when that wind direction will start to shift south, producing those snow showers, possible whiteout conditions in the I-90 corridor, and tricky travel situations possible before that shifts south into the southern valleys by 7 p.m. The rest of the Mohawk Valley here should be dry by the overnight hours until Wednesday morning, when that snow band shifts back up north again and things will finally dry out briefly by the afternoon for Wednesday. And so for today, highs in the upper 20s, low 30s, lake effect snow, windy conditions tonight. Down into the upper teens, low 20s, lake effect snow to the south. Your 7-day forecast after tomorrow, not doing lake effect snow, at least for the near term. We are back to warmer temperatures with sunshine on Thursday. Rain showers arrive once more heading into Friday. Once again, a little warmer with temperatures in the low 40s. And we're going to be tracking this snow band throughout the day. We'll, of course, provide any updates if any warnings come out of possible snow squalls, poor visibility. That's the main concern right now, is poor visibility on roadways in the mid-afternoon.
Yeah, get through today. Tomorrow at this time, it'll all be behind us. Eric, thanks. Well, the White House reveals this.
Now, you're watching News Channel 2 at 7 a.m. on CW 11 with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Liberatore.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you were mentioning earlier that Constableville up near Turin, the high mark this morning with 20 inches.
Yeah, 20 inches of snow up in the Tug Hill area. Yeah, Old Forge, a little lower, but still notable in the 10 to 14 inch range. Now, here in the Mohawk Valley, we are not going to be seeing 20 inches or 14 inches or 10 inches, but still the lake effect snow band will shift south, and this could impact travel by the midday. Here's a live look at downtown Utica. Doesn't really seem like it's going to be an active weather day here from this shot as sunshine is peeking out. The southern valleys got a little treat of some snow, especially in the Cooperstown, Hartwick, Edmiston line, seeing roughly 3 inches of snowfall on those roadways. Road crews right now are taking care of those roads, and right now no additional snowfall is expected, at least until later on tonight in the southern valleys. So if the roads are a little slick right now, it'll continue to improve. In the Mohawk Valley, quiet conditions right now. However, for the North Country, you're still not done with the snow showers just yet. You can see those snow showers taking place just off of Lake Ontario. Tug Hill seeing the most amount right now. You can see that slowly starting to shift south into northern Oneida County at this point. And for today, highs approaching the upper 20s to low 30s. Quiet to start out in the valley. That snow will gradually shift south. Could impact travel, especially by midday. I'm timing it all out in that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And with the snow about to fall here in the...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. This Tuesday is starting out quiet in the Mohawk Valley. A different story for those of you in the North Country who woke up with possibly a good amount of snow, close to a foot up in the Old Forge area. Here's a live look in Utica where weather is quiet right now. A beautiful shot of the sunrise this morning. And taking a look across central New York on the New York State Mesonet Camera Network, we can see exactly where that heavy snow has fallen. Osceola already over 10 inches of snow. Old Forge close to 13 to 14 inches of snow. Redfield still on the higher end there too. Some trace amounts in Camden. Woodgate starting to see that snow accumulating right now. Mohawk Valley, not seeing any snow right now with trace amounts to upwards of 3 inches in the southern valleys. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Here it comes for those of you in northern Oneida County. Start to see some of that snow, at least Boonville, Woodgate, Forestport. You're going to start seeing that heavy accumulation start to form as that snow band slowly starts to shift to the south. Our sky watchers this morning checking with temperatures and snowfall totals in the Mohawk Valley. No real accumulation. Temperatures in the mid-20s, 26, Clinton, New Hartford, Westdale, 26 as well with trace amounts of snowfall. Schuyler, less than an inch, trace amounts of snow as well. Old Forge, almost 11 inches of snow from our sky watcher. However, some weather stations up there are also reporting even higher totals. Southern valleys, 3 inches roughly in portions of the central area. However, in the southern portion, temperatures in the mid-20s. Regarding snowfall in our forecast for today, up those totals in western Oneida County, northwestern Oneida County, 6 to 12 inches of snow, 3 to 6 possible in higher elevations just north of the I-90 corridor, 6 to 12 possible in the Morrisville area, Madison County region. This could shift south depending on wind direction as we head into tonight. Bigger picture showing widespread lake effect snow coming off of the Great Lakes. You can see right here locally, it's more isolated. Starting out in the North Country, sweeping south by around 11 a.m. to noontime into central Oneida County, eventually into the Mohawk Valley by between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Then by 7 p.m., looking mostly dry here in the I-90 corridor as that band remains stationary in the southern valleys overnight tonight before it sweeps back up north again by tomorrow morning, and then things do dry out, remaining quiet as we head into Wednesday afternoon. Some few flurries are possible as we head into Wednesday night. However, no real accumulation is expected from that. So for today, highs in the upper 20s, low 30s, windy conditions. Lake effect snow could cause tricky travel, especially in the Mohawk Valley. For tonight, lows down in the teens with lake effect snow to the south. 7-day forecast drying out on Thursday, highs in the low to mid 40s. Rain showers return heading into Friday.
News Channel 2 at noon with Gary Liberator.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberator.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we do have some video from the North Country, specifically Boonville. Boy, did they get hit up there overnight.
Yeah, plenty of snow up there in the North Country. And as I've gotten response from people up there, it's typical day. It's what they're strong. They're at least compared to what I am used to, not seeing this much snow. Yeah. But yeah, a good amount of lake effect snow taking place right now. It's surprising because taking a look in downtown Utica, a different story. Look at this right here. We got some sunshine, temperatures almost above freezing. Some of our sky watchers reporting highs in the low 30s. However, on the New York State Mesonet camera network, you can see the areas getting hit with a good amount of lake effect snow. Osceola being one of the locations, already upwards of 15 inches of snow. Some areas in Tug Hill have already reached 20 inches of snowfall. Now we're not seeing 20 inches of snow in the Mohawk Valley, but there could be reduced visibility as that snow band continues to shift south into our area. You can see as a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. That snow band is shifting south, already heading into central Oneida County, into the Mohawk Valley briefly within the next few hours. Then it will shift south, especially as the evening time progresses. And you look at what we're tracking for this afternoon. Again, that lake effect band sweeps south. Be prepared for rapidly changing weather conditions. We're also monitoring a northward push of snow later on this evening that could impact south, just south of Utica. And so for today, highs in the low 30s. With that lake effect snow sweeping through, we are tracking that minute by minute in our full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Now, because of the snow.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. If you just caught it on the Cavi Tower camera, there is on that one side of the screen, lake effect snow on the right and sunshine on the left. Currently in downtown Utica, we're seeing more of the latter. Sunshine across the Mohawk Valley right now, and current temperature 30 degrees. But look at this, wind speeds of 23 miles per hour. So though it's almost above freezing, wind chills make it feel like 17 degrees. So definitely will feel a little cooler out there today. Along with that, although we did see some sunshine here in the valley, again, a different story up in the North Country. Old Forge, Denisha Myers checking in with 10 inches of snowfall. And on top of that, our sky watcher, Bill in Old Forge, almost 14 inches of snow picked up there as well. And then up in Lewis County, Lion Falls, 13 inches and counting. This is from Jan. And lastly, this is a little bit earlier in the morning, but a beautiful shot I wanted to share. This is from our Skywatcher Deb in Hartwick with 3.5 inches of snow and a beautiful shot of the sunrise with a nice winter wonderland in that picture. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are still seeing clear skies to the south. However, you notice that pretty significant snowfall band up in the North Country. It is continuing to sweep south. It is now into most of central and northern Oneida County right now. And we can see how this is starting to sweep south. This has been a constant westerly wind for the most part this morning, but as it continues south, it will start to impact travel situations for those of us in the lower elevations. So be prepared for rapidly deteriorating conditions on the roadways. And in terms of our snowfall forecasts from this morning until the early morning hours tomorrow, still thinking 3 to 6 in the blue area right here. 6 to 12 possible in those higher elevations just downwind of that heavy lake effect band. Then it will strengthen once more as it approaches the southern valleys right here, Madison County area. This could shift north or south, and this is what we're monitoring as we head into this evening because it could shift as far north as just south of Utica. And so we can see in our skycast as of noontime that snowfall band slowly sweeping south. You can see right about here, 3-4 p.m., it's already south of the Mohawk Valley. And we're thinking, oh, well, we're pretty much in the clear if we're in the Utica area. However, a last-minute ripple, one of our latest data sets that came in, has the possibility of this pushing back up north again one final time. And this is around 9:30 this evening, and it could cause possible tricky travel again in areas just south of Utica into portions of I-90 just south of Little Falls, and to portions, of course, of central and northern Otsego County. This will finally shift south once more overnight and then finally back up north by Wednesday morning before the lake effect snow band weakens and comes to an end. And so for today, highs in the low 30s, lake effect snow, windy conditions tonight, lows down into the upper teens, low 20s, lake effect snow to the south. Your 7-day forecast. After this, lake effect snow is over and done with by Wednesday. Could be seeing a very nice day on Thursday with some sunshine. Temperatures in the low to mid 40s. 40s continue Friday, however, rain showers return, and by Saturday, still looking pretty pleasant with upper 30s and sunshine. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The snowy weather is not only hitting us, Americans across the country woke up this morning to an early glimpse of winter. This was in the Buffalo area early this morning. NBC's Jesse Kirsch is about an hour and a half east of there in Erie, Pennsylvania, with more on this first real dose of winter for many.
It was a rough start to the day here in Erie, Pennsylvania. You can see we've got these brutal wind gusts. They're churning up waters right near Lake Erie, and it's these blasts of cold air combining with the waters out on the Great Lakes that have turned parts of the region into a snow globe overnight. Here in Erie, we're just seeing a dusting so far, but the snow is coming down once again this morning after a bit of a lull in the early morning hours. And there are some parts of the country that have seen over a foot of snow reported. It's not just the snowfall that's causing headaches for people across the country. Up and down the East Coast and stretching west to Chicago, parts of the country seeing temperatures 10 to 20 degrees below average today. But in spite of all of that, if you're supposed to be catching a flight today, most of you can breathe a sigh of relief, even though we've got these brutal wind gusts making it hard for us to breathe that sigh of relief out here. According to Flight Tracker FlightAware, so far what we've seen does not show many cancellations tied to U.S. airports so far today. Back to you.
NBC's Jesse Kirsch reporting from Erie. Coming up, many families are waiting and praying today. Welcome back. Parts of our viewing area, as you can see behind me, have been hit with quite a bit of snow already. This is up from Boonville this morning. Quite a sight as so many people are out trying to drive in this, probably after getting all tired out shoveling and snow blowing. But we down here in the Utica area are about to see some snow. That's right, meteorologist Eric Gage is tracking this system for us. And Eric, that radar right on our doorstep, right?
Yeah, that's right. Snow band is slowly starting to sweep south, and we're finally seeing the transition from the North Country into Oneida County and the Mohawk Valley. You can see on the New York State Mesonet camera network right here, Camden has been largely dry, while just north in Osceola has been seeing the worst of the snow. You can now see Camden starting to see that lake effect snow right there, and parts of Woodgate, Colebrook into north central Herkimer County. seeing that lake effect snow. And even though it's dry in the Mohawk Valley, Westmoreland, Herkimer, you can see in the background right there the lake effect clouds slowly moving south. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar. This is going to start rippling south fairly quickly. Take a look at this right here. Heavy lake effect snow currently taking place in northwestern Oneida County and western Oneida County, and you can see that sudden shift in wind direction right there. It'll basically be a domino effect as it pushes into the Mohawk Valley and eventually south. So for today, expect lake effect snow showers, rapidly deteriorating conditions. We're not expecting a whole lot of snow here in the Mohawk Valley, but enough to where travel could be tricky. I'm tracking it all out in the timing plus snowfall totals coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. The snow is falling for many folks for the first time this season, and AAA Northeast wants to make sure your car is ready for winter driving.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. The North Country got their fair share of snow this morning. Now it is arriving into the lower elevations as that lake effect snow band continues to sweep south into the Mohawk Valley and eventually parts of the southern valleys. Here's a live look at our Cavity Tower camera. Again, take a look at this shot right here. We got sunshine, quiet weather on this side of your screen, but as we look to the north, this is facing the west, by the way. Look at that, rapidly deteriorating conditions, lowered visibility. That's our main concern as we head to the next several hours as this lake effect cloud band producing snow continues to move into central New York. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar. Still some lingering snow showers up in the Old Forge area. North central Herkimer County seeing additional snowfall. Boonville area, northern Oneida County, now central Herkimer County right here seeing the most of the snowfall. And you can see right here this ripple as the snow band is no longer in one steady line, but now is weakening into more of scattered snow showers right now. So although we're still seeing more of the snow, we're not going to see as much snow as Tug Hill did or Old Forge did earlier on this morning. As a matter of fact, a look at those snowfall totals coming up in just a minute. Still windy out too as well. Wind speeds of 22 miles per hour in Rome, 24 in Syracuse. This is not including wind gusts. This is sustained winds. Now wind chills in some parts of the area, Colebrook as low as 12 degrees. So it does not feel like the upper 20s, low 30s out there right now. Now regarding our snowfall forecast, still thinking the roughs 3 to 6 inches of snowfall in those higher elevations. Outlying areas could see 6 to 12 just off of Lake Ontario. But as we head into the Mohawk Valley, I-90 corridor, Little Falls, Utica, it'll be a lot harder for that snow to accumulate on those roadways. We're thinking trace to 3 right now. Highest end, maybe 5 inches if a snow band that's south of here continues to push its way north by the late evening. This is what we've been monitoring over the past several hours as new data has come in. So for right now, that snow band is currently in northern and central Herkimer County. This will continue to sweep south as we head into the afternoon. It will be south of Utica by 5 to 7 p.m., but we're looking at right here is another ripple in the lake effect snow. This could push it back up north again, just south of Utica, and we could not be done with the snow just yet here in the Utica area. So for now, we're keeping snow totals low in Utica, but we will monitor this as the situation progresses this afternoon and the evening. And if any new updates do arrive from data and from observations, we of course share it along with you tonight at 5 and 6 or live on our Facebook weather page. And so for today, highs in the upper 20s, low 30s, windy conditions, lake effect snow continuing in the southern valleys tonight, low down to 19 degrees. Your 7-day forecast, lake effect snow comes to an end tomorrow morning as the band shifts north and then weakens. And surprisingly, by Thursday, sunshine, mild conditions, highs in the low to mid 40s. Pretty pleasant day. Rain returns on Friday. Sunshine returns once more, heading into Saturday for the start of the weekend. Gary?
Eric, thanks. News Talk right now.
Watching News Channel 2, live at 5 News Hour with Kristen Copeland and Jason Pallas.
Well, some people woke up to a winter wonderland. The rest of us had to wait until later in the day to get the snow.
But it came. And a reminder, this is lake effect that we're dealing with. Off the top, check out this footage. Boonville residents, I hope you had your plows and snow blowers ready. At about 8:30 this morning, this was Main Street, coated in snow. People were out there reunited with their shovels, and it was cold to boot. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis is tracking snowfall totals and what comes next.
Yeah, the North Country getting about a foot of snow last night. The Mohawk Valley seeing much less, only an inch or two of fluff. But we are not done with this. We're expecting the snow to continue tonight. As we take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, that band of snow has turned into the south and west as expected, and it will bring locally heavy snowfall to areas south and west of Utica tonight. Be careful traveling. While this is not producing a lot of snow, it is producing poor visibility. The wind, the very fluffy nature of this snow is creating localized whiteouts, and I think that's the biggest concern heading into tonight. We're expecting an additional 2 to 4 inches of snowfall for many areas north and west of the Mohawk Valley. South and west, that band that sets up in Madison County could produce as much as 4 to 8 additional inches of snowfall before it lifts to the north tomorrow, and this lake effect event winds down. This evening, lake effect snow temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s. Again, we're tracking that band as it continues to pivot through our area. A look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
COVID, the gift that keeps on giving. Hundreds of Oneida County residents are running to the eye doctor or the DMV this week.
And if your license was renewed within
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are continuing to track a band of lake effect snow that is causing poor visibility and tricky travel, generally south and west of Utica. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, and you can see this band kind of just slicing right through central New York. Steady areas of snow continue from Utica and points west and south. Watch out for rapidly changing weather conditions. This is the type of snow that can create whiteout conditions in a very short period of time, and the snow continues to occur west of Utica. That's where it's going to stay tonight. Winds become northerly tonight, which means this band should drop more south. It should clear Utica and primarily produce heavy snowfall in Madison County and out towards Syracuse. So if you're traveling west tonight, again, it is going to be a tough go with some pretty hefty accumulation. Looking at snowfall totals, again, with many lake effect events, it's feast or famine. The North Country cashing in, Boonville picking up 13 inches of snow, Remsen 8 inches, and the numbers go down quite a bit heading south. Clinton 1 inch, and Utica so far a ½ inch of snowfall. But this is the first accumulating snow of the season for the city of Utica. Now, I wanted to look at our traffic tracker here. I'm going to step aside and widen the view out here to show you that it is a slow go if you're heading west. You can see I-90 west of Utica. You see some oranges showing up there. Traffic is slowing down, and it looks like some of the tougher drives in our areas, driving down 12B, Route 12-2, you're going to get poor visibility, especially in those open areas. So just keep that in mind. It is going to be a slow go this evening. If you're on the road, maybe listening to us on the radio, you can just take your time. Road conditions are going to be pretty tough, especially in areas that have quite a bit of wind. Live look in Old Forge, again, a winter wonderland with several inches of snow, 8 inches taking place last night, an additional 2 inches today. Radar and satellite image, more snow is to come tonight. The band stays south and west of Utica, and then it moves to the north as winds turn into the west. So one more pivot of this lake effect band tomorrow before it comes to an end. And that happens in the morning. Temperatures will be in the low 30s in the afternoon, and it's a generally dry and cloudy day. Tomorrow night, the weather looks pretty quiet, just a couple of flurries out there. Weather on Thursday, pleasant. We'll see some sunshine. Temperatures climb into the low 40s. Snowfall tonight and tomorrow, thinking a general 2 to 4 inches of accumulation from areas west and south of Utica. 4 to 8 inches possible in Madison County. Again, that's where we're expecting the core of this lake effect band to set up tonight. And then it does drift to the north as we get into tomorrow before finally coming to an end. Lake effect snow south tonight, low of 19. Tomorrow, again, some light snow in the morning as that lake effect band moves. But again, it does come to an end. Temperatures in the low 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine Thursday, 43. Then we get into this cloudy, gloomy weather pattern, but it's not all that cold. Temperatures will be near 40 as we head into the weekend with a couple of rainmakers on Friday and Sunday.
Cold rain.
Cold rain.
Bill, thank you.
Well, after a busy holiday travel weekend.
Oh, how much depends on where you live.
And we're going to get you back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis right now with some snowfall totals.
Yeah, the North Country, as expected, picked up almost a foot of snow. In fact, a foot of snow in Old Forge, Ohio, 6 inches. The numbers go down dramatically heading south, where the lake effect band didn't produce anywhere near as much snow, but we are still seeing snow tonight. Clinton, an inch of snow in Utica so far, a ½ inch. That band of lake effect snow continues to drop south and east. Visibility is poor, even though it's not producing a lot of snow. Visibility will remain poor. It's that fluffy, light snow that's very easy to blow around. And with the wind out there tonight, it is creating poor visibility. Be careful traveling, especially if you're heading south and west of Utica tonight, where we're expecting an additional 4 to 8 inches of snowfall. If you are taking the dog out for a walk, temperatures will be in the 20s this evening. Tonight's featured dog is Maya from Deansboro. We've got a new place to go on Facebook. I'd search for Skycast, WKTV. That is where you can go to submit photos to be part of this segment of the newscast. Back over to you.
Just make sure you're spelling Sky like Sky the dog.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We continue to track lake effect snow as it impacts our area. The winds have changed direction over the past 12 hours from the west to the northwest, and that lake effect band of snow has moved, and it's now setting up south and west of Utica. With one exception, we are getting a narrow band of some locally heavy snow along Route 49 between Rome and Utica. This is dropping generally south and east, but again, it is producing very poor visibility. More widespread snow, or at least the snow band is thicker distance-wise in Madison County and out towards Syracuse. And again, the general idea is this band of snow is expected to drop south as winds turn more northerly tonight and produce some heavier accumulation across Madison County. And then the winds turn west and the snow lifts to the north tomorrow. Snow tomorrow looks generally light, just another inch or two of fluff expected. A slow go on the roads tonight. Be very careful if you're heading south and west of Utica. We've got our traffic tracker up this evening. What you're seeing here is highlighting slow-moving traffic heading to the west along the Thruway, Route 5, especially out towards Syracuse. Seeing a lot of red out that way. That means traffic has been moving very slowly, and again, it is going to be a tough go, and it's mainly because of the visibility. We're not getting really heavy snowfall, but that lake effect snow is very fluffy, and it causes poor visibility, especially with the wind. It's live look in downtown Utica. With the wind, it feels like 19 degrees, so it is a cold one out there. Dress nice and warm if you are heading out. Winds turn northerly tonight, and again, that band of lake effect snow heads into Madison County overnight and into Otsego County. Winds turn westerly as we head into tomorrow morning. That's going to cause the snow to lift to the north. By 7 o'clock in the morning, the snow is on its way into the North Country, where a few more inches of accumulation will take place before snow comes to an end. And it's mostly cloudy throughout the day tomorrow. After the morning time, the snow is done for most of us. Heading into tomorrow night, a few flurries around. It looks dry on Thursday, and melting snow in places that do see accumulation. Thursday looks like a nice day. High temperatures climb into the low 40s with clouds giving way to sunshine. Additional snow tonight and early tomorrow. Most of us pick up about 2 to 4 inches of accumulation. The exception is the Mohawk Valley from Utica east, a trace to 2 inches of snow. 4 to 8 inches expected in Madison County, where that band of snow sits for tonight. And then as it lifts to the north, it does produce locally heavier snow across portions of the southwestern Tug Hill first thing tomorrow morning before coming to an end. Tonight, lake effect snow. Again, the heaviest looks to be south and west of Utica, 19 for the overnight low. Snow showers early tomorrow, and then it's a cloudy and generally quiet day with much less wind compared to today. Low 40s on Thursday. Chance to see some sunshine, especially in the afternoon. Rain on Friday, 42. Looking dry Saturday, 39. Rain showers Sunday. Dry on Monday with a mix of some rain and snow possible looking ahead to Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Watching News Channel 2 at 6 with Kristen Copeland and Jason Palace.
Thanks for joining us. We've seen flurries this season, but I would say today brought the first significant snowfall of the season.
Absolutely. The lake effect started up in the North Country and has dropped down into the Mohawk Valley. Take a look at what Boonville residents were waking up to. Oh, we sure hope you had your plows and snow blowers ready, because they got it. Tracking the very latest now is Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. What are we seeing down here?
This snow is not anywhere near as heavy as expected as it fell across the North Country, but we are tracking some poor visibility this evening, and you're going to want to be careful if you are heading out. Very changeable weather with these bands of lake effect snow. They're very narrow, but they are packing a punch. In fact, as we take a close look at this band, it's situated right over Route 49 out towards Rome. This is dropping south, so this will impact Utica over the next about 15 to 45 minutes or so. And again, most of the heavier snow looks to move to the south and west tonight. Total so far, Old Forge 12 inches, but then you go down to Clinton 1 inch and only a ½ inch of snow today in Utica. Additional snow tonight. Again, most areas pick up about a trace to 2 inches in the Mohawk Valley from Utica east. Higher elevations, 2 to 4 inches of snow. In Madison County and extreme western, northwestern Oneida County, 4 to 8 inches of snow. There's a band of steady, heavy snow that's expected to fall in this area tonight. And then the snow lifts to the north as we head into early tomorrow when it comes to an end. This evening, again, tracking that lake effect snow. Watch out for some strong winds and reduced visibility at times. We are tracking some milder weather ahead, too. Look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New at 6, Utica Police have...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Lake effect snow continues to impact central New York. The wind direction has changed. The bands of snow are now dropping south. And in fact, we can kind of tell what's going to be happening tonight as we look to the west. Again, a lot of us are still dealing with snow, but see this curl in the radar west of Rome? That indicates the winds are turning more northerly. So what's going to happen is this snow is going to drift to the west as the winds turn more northerly tonight. In fact, that band right now, it's producing pretty poor visibility just by looking at some of the returns here on the radar. You can imagine that traveling conditions can be tough towards Rome, extending out towards Utica here. But it's a narrow band of snow, and these bands don't last for very long, and they're not going to sit in one spot all night long. The exception, though, is what's going to be happening tonight south and west of Utica. That's where the band will eventually settle into Madison County. Driving tonight, be aware of very changeable weather conditions. The worst of this is south and west of Utica, where it's mainly poor visibility that's the issue. We're not getting a whole lot of snow, at least compared to what we're used to, but the wind is really kicking that snow up and creating poor visibility, and it's slowing down traffic. This is a look at our traffic tracker. Conditions heading west, a slow go for sure. Downtown Utica, again, not looking too bad at the moment. Again, most roads are wet. And you can see a light accumulation of snow in the Mohawk Valley taking place today. It's cold out there, wind chills 14, so dress nice and warm if you are heading out. Skywatchers checking in with some snowfall numbers, and you can see the huge difference in numbers here. 1 inch in Clinton and New Hartford, but then you go up to West Leiden, 14 inches, Boonville, 13 inches. Old Forge, 12 inches. Got a new report in Inlet of 17 inches of snow. And then down to Stratford, 2 inches, 3 inches of snow. A lot of that happened last night in Cooperstown. Again, continuing to track lake effect snow tonight. The main band is generally in Madison County. Winds turn into the west early tomorrow morning. The snow lifts to the north and produces additional light accumulation. This is the position of the band expected at 7 o'clock in the morning. The snow will lift to the north throughout the day. So most of us are looking at a dry, cloudy, and chilly day with less wind compared to today. Some flurries tomorrow night. The weather on Thursday looks nice. We're expecting clouds to give way to sunshine and temperatures climb into the low 40s. Snowfall forecast tonight and early tomorrow. In the Mohawk Valley, again, we continue to miss out on the bulk of this accumulation, another trace to 2 inches of accumulation. North and south of the Mohawk Valley, 2 to 4 inches, especially west of Utica, closer to that band of steadier snow tonight. That produces 4 to 8 inches of additional snow in Madison and extreme western Otsego County. Lake effect snow tonight, 19 for the overnight low. Snow showers in the morning, and then a cloudy and dry afternoon with less wind and highs in the low 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Thursday, 43, a pleasant day. Rain returns Friday, 42. Cloudy on Saturday, 39. Sunday, more rain. I know we're getting into winter here soon, but we're not quite there yet.
Not going to be any deficit, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Bill, thank you.
Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. Syracuse University.
Watching News Channel 2 at 10 on CW11 with Jason Pallas.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We all experience some snow, some of us more than others. The first lake effect event of the winter season. Folks up north saw nearly a foot, and this event isn't quite over for others. There have been dozens of accidents late this afternoon into this evening as well. We're going to begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. He's tracking it all from the Weather Center. Now this band has moved south, and we heard it all on the scanners tonight. Accidents everywhere.
Well, you know what? I think we just have to get our snow legs back.
Yeah.
It just takes a little practice getting back out, used to driving in this again. So we have not had a lot of snow, but we've been getting a lot of accidents. So just do be careful if you're heading out. There's also some ice that's formed underneath this layer of snow. So it is a little deceiving when you're heading out there. Even though there's not a lot of snow, the roads are still slippery. It's a live look at the Airfield Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're continuing to track bands of snow. They're narrow, which means you're going to run into some widely changing weather conditions this evening. But there's been this very slow progression of snow pushing south through the Mohawk Valley, and this will eventually drift into Madison County as we head into tonight. Snowfall totals, this includes earlier today, plus what we had this evening. Old Forge, 17.5 inches of snow. Boonville, Forestport closing in on a foot. Clinton, 4 inches of snow, just measured about 3 1/4 inches of snow here at the television studio. 2 inches of snow in Ilion. And the snowfall by tomorrow morning, so what happened this evening plus what happens tonight, thinking a general 2 to 4 inches of accumulation for most of us. That's a very fluffy accumulation. Some heavier snow is expected to the west. Tonight, again, cold, lake effect snow, overnight lows in the teens. Again, we're tracking when the snow comes to an end and what the morning commute looks like coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Hey, we are not the only ones dealing with lake effect. Travelers in other parts of New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, all dealing with whiteout conditions. And the storm's not over yet. Jen Sullivan looks at the dangerous driving conditions across parts of the Northeast.
A powerful winter storm pummeling parts of the Northeast, creating dangerous driving conditions.
Visibility is pretty low.
The storm impacting more than 3 million Americans.
It was pretty slick. The hills were pretty good plowed, though.
It's the first significant lake effect snowstorm of the season, dumping several inches of snow in some areas around the Great Lakes. Parts of New York State buried under a foot or more of snow Tuesday, with up to 3 inches falling per hour at times, creating these whiteout conditions.
It was a little crazy. A foot of snow in the road for about 8 miles.
A similar situation in Erie County, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation saying the slick roads causing several spinouts.
We got multiple people off the road.
And the Ohio Department of Transportation tweeting this, warning drivers in the Cleveland area that even their snowplows were having a hard time getting around. Ohio State Highway Patrol confirming multiple crashes. The blizzard-like conditions forcing more than 100 schools in the Cleveland area to close Tuesday. And the heavy snow isn't over yet. Some areas could see another 6 inches by early Wednesday morning. In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
New tonight, a driver suffering.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are continuing to track lake effect snow that's moving across central New York. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The bands have been moving southward. This band has been generally in the Mohawk Valley over the course of this evening, producing a few fluffy inches of snow. A general 2 to 4 inches has fallen with this band, and it's going to continue to drop to the south as we head into tonight as winds turn mainly into the northwest. Another heavier band of snow out towards western Madison, Chenango, and southern Otsego County continues to bring poor visibility and moderate snowfall to the southern valleys. That will continue as we head into tonight. We've been watching the traffic tracker. There's been a lot of accidents this evening despite not a whole lot of snowfall. So do be careful if you're heading out. We are continuing to monitor this map. It does look better than it did earlier this evening. There was a lot of orange and red indicating really slow traffic, but I think a lot of that the improvement has to do with the visibility, which visibility has gotten a lot better across the I-90 corridor. It's a live look in downtown Utica. Some snow showers continue, but you can see the roads, at least the main roads, are wet and or slushy. It's cold tonight. The current wind chill 13 degrees. That's not going to change too much tonight. So you look at the radar and satellite image. We are just continuing to track lake effect snow, and it's all about the wind direction. Tonight, that wind direction is turned into the northwest. Late tonight, it turns back to the west. So this lake effect snow is going to lift to the north. And again, it brings widespread snow showers to the area very early tomorrow morning. I think by 7 a.m., most of that snow is north of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures start out in the low 20s. Tomorrow, the majority of the day looks dry. It's mostly cloudy, temperatures in the low 30s. A warm front moves in tomorrow night that produces some light snow showers and a few flurries as temperatures settle back into the 20s. Thursday, the weather looks nice. Clouds give way to sunshine. Temperatures climb into the low 40s. Snowfall tonight. This is what, in addition to what fell earlier, too. We're looking at a general 2 to 4 inches of snow on the ground for most of us here. That's fallen since this evening by tomorrow morning. Again, most of this lake effect will be coming to an end early tomorrow. Lake effect snow south, low temperature of 19. Tomorrow, snow showers early in the day, but again, most of the day looks dry, 32 for the high. Partly sunny Thursday, 43. Light rain on Friday, 42. Cloudy skies Saturday, 39. Another round of light rain Sunday. Dry Monday, and then a rain-snow mix possible Tuesday. We'll be right back.
News Channel 2 at 11 with Jason Powers.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We all experienced it, some of us more than others, the first lake effect event of the winter season. Some folks up north, hey, they saw nearly a foot, some a little more. And this event isn't quite over for others. There have been dozens of accidents late this afternoon into this evening. We've heard them on the scanners throughout the evening. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. We start things off tonight. That band seems to have moved south, but we still have snow in the forecast, don't we?
We do, and I think we've got to get our snow legs back. You know, it's the first snow of the season. We didn't see a lot of accumulation in the Mohawk Valley, but it did have a high impact. And there were a lot of accidents this evening for really not a whole lot of accumulation. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're continuing to track some steady snow south of Utica. The main band has dropped south, and it did produce a couple of inches of snow here throughout this evening. We measured 3.3 inches here at WKTV. Up north earlier today, Old Forge 17.5 inches of snow. Boonville over a foot, Forestport 10 inches. Ilion 2 inches of snow. Paris picking up the same as WKTV, 3.3 inches. The snowfall forecast heading into tonight. So this is additional snow. What to expect by tomorrow morning. Most of us just another inch or two of accumulation. This lake effect is going to continue to wind down. This evening, again, lake effect snow, especially south. Temperatures are going to cool off overnight. It's going to drop down into the teens. We're looking at some dry and warmer weather in our future. Look at the forecasts coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. We're not the only ones dealing with lake effect. Travelers in other portions of the state, along with Pennsylvania and Ohio, dealing with whiteout conditions, and that storm not over yet. Jen Sullivan looks at the dangerous driving conditions across parts of the Northeast tonight.
A powerful winter storm pummeling parts of the Northeast, creating dangerous driving conditions.
Visibility is pretty low.
The storm impacting more than 3 million Americans.
It was pretty slick. The hills were pretty good plowed, though.
It's the first significant lake effect snowstorm of the season, dumping several inches of snow in some areas around the Great Lakes. Parts of New York State buried under a foot or more of snow Tuesday, with up to 3 inches falling per hour at times, creating these whiteout conditions.
Oh, it was a little crazy. A foot of snow in the road for about 8 miles.
A similar situation in Erie County, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation saying the slick roads causing several spinouts.
We got multiple people off the road.
And the Ohio Department of Transportation tweeting this, warning drivers in the Cleveland area that even their snowplows were having a hard time getting around. Ohio State Highway Patrol confirming multiple crashes. The blizzard-like conditions forcing more than 100 schools in the Cleveland area to close Tuesday. And the heavy snow isn't over yet. Some areas could see another 6 inches by early Wednesday morning. In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
New tonight, a driver suffering a medical condition.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Big improvements in the weather over the past hour or so as lake effect snow drops southward. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. And again, the wind direction has changed and a lot of the snow has pushed to the south of the Mohawk Valley. Still a few lingering snow showers along the Route 20 corridor heading towards Richfield and Cherry Valley, and some occasional bursts of snow in eastern Otsego County. So it's not done yet. The lake effect is going to hang around the southern valleys tonight and then eventually drift to the north as we head into tomorrow. Traffic is moving a lot better than it was earlier. We saw a lot of oranges and reds on this map. This is our traffic tracker. Of course, there's less people on the roads, but the folks that are moving out there are generally moving at normal speeds. Looking downtown Utica, the visibility has improved. You can see some light snow on the ground. Again, many of us picking up a couple of inches of fluffy snow this evening. It's cold out there. The wind chill is 11. It's going to remain cold tonight. Winds turn into the west as we head into late tonight, and that's going to carry lake effect snow back to the north. You can see the wind direction change across the upper Great Lakes. And again, we're expecting that band of snow to lift north as we head into tonight. This snowfall accumulation is not done yet, but it's generally done. We're only expecting a light inch or two of snow late tonight and early tomorrow. By 7 o'clock in the morning, some light snow showers north. The morning commute not looking too bad. Looking at just a few light snow showers. Temperatures start out in the 20s. It's a mostly cloudy day tomorrow, and it's pretty quiet through the afternoon and early evening. Temperatures climb into the low 30s. A warm front arrives tomorrow night, produces some light flurries in the air overnight into early Thursday morning. Thursday starts out with cloud cover, and we should see some sunshine. And a pleasant day. Temperatures climb into the low 40s. Additional snow tonight. Again, most of us pick up another inch or two of fluff closer to the bands of steadier snow with that northwest wind. Madison County, western Oneida County, and Lewis County could pick up an additional 2 to 4 inches of snow. But again, most of this is going to be winding down. Tonight, lake effect snow to the south, a low of 19. Tomorrow, we're looking at snow showers early in the day, but again, most of the day looks dry and cloudy with temperatures in the low 30s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Low 40s on Thursday, the nicest day of the week. Friday, a cold rain, 42. Saturday looks dry, cloudy, 39. More rain possible Sunday, and a rain snow mix looking ahead to Tuesday.
So by probably Thursday afternoon, most of us that just got a dusting to a few inches, that's all going to be gone.
That's going to be melting, not so much north. Some of that will hang around.
They'll have it for a while. All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next.